everyone. For this assignment, for this class, I've created a reflection video evaluating my leadership and teamwork skill in my capacity as a student. Over the past unit, I found that concepts of self-awareness, explaining behavior, and responsibility have profoundly influenced how I view my interaction with peers. The first learning object is self-awareness, identifying my strengths and weaknesses and mitigating behaviors that impair effective performance. For me, a key strength here is metacognition, an ability to think about my own thinking. I'm usually good at pausing to assess my emotional state and my level of understanding before I jump into task or a discussion. However, However, a weakness I've identified is this self-reflection often happens after the fact, or it can lead to overthinking my contributions, which sometimes make me slow to speak up in a fast-paced group setting. Now, let me share a specific example where I now see I should have applied this arrow differently. Example draft is last semester, during our GCA case study project, I took the role in an editor and final presenter. My self-awareness is weak because I fix on the presenter aspect, which is a strength, but I neglect to clearly communicate the structural change I was making to the written report. In retrospect, I see that I failed to properly monitor my habit of silent perfectionism. If a similar context arose, I would approach applying self-awareness differently by setting a dedicated 5-minute check-in with the team before the final submission deadline to explicitly state and get sign up on all my last-minute editorial decisions. Next is behavioral explanation, analyzing how internal mental state, incentives, and dis- disincentives influence behavior. My strength in this area is being empathic. I'm usually quick to consider external factors influencing teammate behavior, like stress from other cause or personal issues, before jumping to a conclusion about their commitment. My weakness through a tendency to overanalyze and even rationalize my own internal state. For example, if I feel stress, I might justify a lack of communication by saying the team will understand, they know I'm busy. This misses the mark on thoroughly analyzing the influence of that stress on my interactions with others. Using in that in example is in that same case study project, I didn't clearly explain the reasons why I need to few extra hours to finalize those slides. My own internal need to perfection was the driver. Instead, I just sent a vague update. This create unnecessary anxiety for my teammates. Moving forward, I need to analyze how my drive to quality needs to be balanced by clear, more transparent communication to mitigate potential team disincentives like anxiety or confusion. The third core error is responsibility, following through on commitments, being proactive, and taking responsibility. My strength here is being reliable. If I commit to task, I deliver it on time. I am generally proactive in anticipating pro potential load for my own task. The most significant weakness I face in this semester, which related directly to my experience as a student, is overcommitment. I often take on too much because I believe I can handle it. And my evaluation has highlighted two key areas: the strengths of my self-reflection and weakness of my tendency toward overanalysis and overcommitment. Therefore, my key piece of advice for myself, my action to take to improve performance is this: focus on why of the system, not just the why of the self. Before committing to new tasks, I will apply self-awareness not just to my capacity, but also the emergent properties of my existing commitments. I will verbalize the reason for my behavior more clearly to my team. Thank you.